On September 13, 2014, the small city of Charlottesville, Virginia, was buzzing with excitement. Students from the University of Virginia were celebrating the beginning of a new school year, ready for a weekend filled with social gatherings and fun. Among them was Hannah Graham, an 18-year-old sophomore who radiated enthusiasm and curiosity about life. Known for her adventurous spirit and warm heart, Hannah had dreams of studying anthropology abroad, eager to explore the world and understand different cultures. That Saturday night, Hannah and her friends decided to embrace the vibrant nightlife of Charlottesville. They began their evening with dinner and drinks, laughter filling the air as they enjoyed each other's company. As the night wore on, the group decided to visit a local bar, a popular spot among students. However, as the night progressed, Hannah became separated from her friends. Initially, it was nothing alarming. It often happens during busy nights out. But when the hours passed without a word from her, concern began to ripple through her friend group. The last confirmed sighting of Hannah was captured on surveillance cameras around 1:20 a.m. She was seen walking alone, visibly disoriented, in the streets of Charlottesville. The footage showed her navigating the dark, deserted roads, a stark contrast to the vibrant energy of earlier in the evening. In the footage, her expression was one of confusion, raising alarm bells for those who watched it later. After a while, Hannah didn't return home, and by morning, panic set in. When her friends realized that Hannah had not come back to her apartment, they began searching the area, retracing their steps from the previous night. They called her phone repeatedly, but each time it went straight to voicemail. Desperation set in as they reported her missing to the police. The authorities wasted no time, launching a full-scale search for Hannah Graham. Flyers were distributed, social media campaigns were launched, and the community rallied together to find the missing girl. As news of Hannah's disappearance spread, it gripped the nation. The image of her bright smile and her vibrant personality became a symbol of hope for a safe return. Friends, family, and volunteers from across Charlottesville joined the search effort, scouring parks, back alleys, and nearby wooded areas. The university community was in shock. It was unimaginable that something so sinister could happen in their town. Days turned into weeks with no leads, but investigators remained committed. They conducted extensive interviews, reaching out to anyone who might have seen Hannah on that fateful night. As they combed through surveillance footage, a chilling discovery emerged. Police identified a man, Jesse Matthew, who was seen in the vicinity of Hannah the night she vanished. Matthew, a 32-year-old local who had no prior criminal record, became a person of interest. As the investigation continued, more information about Jesse Matthew began to surface. Authorities learned that he had been involved in another case from 2005 when he faced allegations of sexual assault. The similarities between that case and Hannah's disappearance sent alarm bells ringing among law enforcement. In the days following Hannah's disappearance, Matthew was arrested on unrelated charges, giving investigators the opportunity to question him about Hannah. At first, Matthew denied any involvement in Hannah's case, claiming he had never seen her that night. However, the inconsistencies in his statements raised suspicions. Detectives learned he had a history of predatory behavior, and with each passing day, it became increasingly likely that he held key information about Hannah's fate. The mounting evidence led to a renewed urgency in the investigation, with law enforcement eager to locate Hannah before it was too late. Meanwhile, Hannah's family remained hopeful but heartbroken. Her parents, John and Sue Graham, expressed their anguish through heartfelt interviews, urging anyone with information to come forward. They shared stories of Hannah's kindness, her love for adventure, and her passion for life, hoping to remind the public that she was not just a missing person but a beloved daughter, friend, and student. The community stood behind them, holding vigils and prayer services, creating a network of support and love in the search for Hannah. As weeks passed, the search began to take a darker turn. Investigators began to fear that Hannah might not be found alive. On October 18, 2014, a month after her disappearance, the search led authorities to a remote area in Albemarle County. There, they discovered human remains. It was a moment that sent shockwaves through the community, shattering the glimmer of hope that had persisted for weeks. The remains were later identified as Hannah Graham. The news of Hannah's death was devastating. The community mourned together, their hearts heavy with grief for the life that had been so abruptly taken. In the aftermath of the discovery, Jesse Matthew was charged with her murder. As details emerged during the trial, a horrifying picture began to take shape. Matthew had lured Hannah into his vehicle after she had become disoriented and lost. He then assaulted and murdered her, disposing of her body in a remote location. The trial was a highly publicized affair, attracting attention not only for the tragic circumstances surrounding Hannah's death, but also for the broader implications regarding campus safety and the warning signs of predatory behavior. Many students at the University of Virginia felt an unsettling shift in their perception of safety, realizing that the campus, once a haven for learning and friendship, could also harbor dark secrets. In the courtroom, Hannah's family delivered powerful victim impact statements, sharing their heartbreak and the profound loss of their daughter. They spoke of Hannah's dreams and aspirations, the future that was stolen from her, and the love they would forever hold in their hearts. Their strength in the face of unimaginable grief resonated with many, sparking conversations about the need for vigilance and awareness regarding personal safety, especially among young women. On February 2016, Jesse Matthew was found guilty of first-degree murder, abduction, and other charges related to Hannah's case. He was sentenced to an effective life sentence without the possibility of parole. The verdict brought some semblance of closure to Hannah's family and friends, but the scars of her tragic disappearance would linger on. The case prompted widespread discussions about campus safety, consent, and the importance of listening to victims and survivors. Hannah's disappearance served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the hidden dangers that can exist in seemingly safe spaces. In the wake of her tragic loss, many organizations and advocacy groups emerged, dedicated to raising awareness about campus safety and supporting survivors of sexual violence. Hannah's story became a rallying cry for change, inspiring initiatives to educate students about consent and personal safety measures. As we reflect on the haunting case of Hannah Graham, we are reminded of the urgency of addressing issues surrounding violence against women, the importance of community support, and the need for open dialogues about safety. The tragedy of Hannah's disappearance underscores the need for awareness, vigilance, and a commitment to fostering safe environments for all individuals. In conclusion, Hannah Graham's story is one of heartache and loss, but also of resilience and hope. Though her life was cut short, her memory continues to inspire change and raise awareness. Her family's strength and determination to seek justice in the face of unspeakable grief serves as a powerful reminder of the impact one life can have on many. As we remember Hannah, let us strive to ensure that her legacy lives on through efforts to prevent violence, support survivors, and create safe spaces for all. If you found Hannah's story moving, subscribe to our channel for more true crime tales that seek to shine a light on the hidden struggles and stories behind the headlines. Together, we can keep the conversation going and advocate for those whose voices need to be heard.